Good morning. Let's start the discussion today on current affairs. The first topic that we will take for discussion today is out shifting elephant. Okay, this is the man-animal conflict and shifting elephant from the human habitation. The Supreme Court recently dismissed the Kerala government's appeal against the order of the Kerala High Court directing that Harikofgat, the rice tasker of Munnar, be relocated to the Parambiculam Tiger Reserve. The High Court has on 12th April reiterated its earlier April 5th order to relocate the animal and giving the state 7 days to find a suitable forest corner away from the human habitation for it, telling which it would have to go to Parimpula. At the High Court said on April 12th order, the High Court has rejected the apprehension of local people about having the translocated elephant in their midst. Over the years, Arim Kumbar has been blamed for several human deaths due to killing by elephants, saying they had no right to decide on the nature of the animal that must be housed within the tiger region. So, locating an elephant in the tiger region is not accepted to the people. The court found the apprehension that the elephant will pose a threat to the life and property of the village baseless and said it was appealed by the total insensitivity demonstrated the plight of the animal in question. Because man is concerned about his own safety but is not at all careful about the animal. So here the man is so selfish, so egoist that he is not at all considering what the poor animal, how it can find its own habitat and stay there safely. Fine, that is the issue. The court also added there is every likelihood that the availability of plentiful natural food and water resources there would deter it from forging in human settlement. The fact that the elephant will be radio collared and its movement monitored by the forestry wildlife officials or to have sufficient to allay the apprehension of petitioner and the surprise element when the conflict situation is effectively removed because as it will be put with the tracker. Okay, so it will be radio collared, so its movement can be monitored by the wildlife officials, so its exact movement in a day and whether it is coming towards the habitation, human habitation or not, can be very well monitored. So the threat perception expressed by the people that the animal may pose a threat to the people is somehow ruled out because its every movement will be monitored because it will be radio collared. There is no material before us either in the form of scientific opinion or otherwise that could suggest either that the elephant could amount almost inevitably behave in the manner suggested by the petitioners. The other petitioners say it will behave in a different way and may move to the near the habitation, which is a great threat, was ruled out by the higher court in the sense because the entire movement of the animal will be tracked through the radio collaring. So the forest official will have a close watch on them. Okay, and that will definitely help in saving, okay, the precious life because it will not be its movement will be controlled or regulated or supervised. So once there is apprehension that it's moving towards habitation, so it will be pushed back. The debatable conclusion: evidence does not seem to agree with this conclusion. Records suggest that the availability of natural food is no guarantee that an elephant will not raid strange standing crops. Okay, so elephant normally during harvesting period they move towards the standing crop and hit the standing crop and destroy it with the paddy crops. Okay, even though there is plenty availability of natural foods inside the forest, but they move outside the forest domination that area dominion and move to the cultivable area, thereby destroying the crop. And in this process, when people oppose, so there is man-animal conflict and the death of the people by the Dosker. Fine. Using a radio cooler round the clock drain its battery too soon. To avoid frequent immobilization to refit coolers, locations may at least be tracked every hour. Enough time for a bull elephant to spring a few surprises within a radius of 10 to 5 to 10 kilometers. Radio telemetry studies of translocated problem elephants suggest that shifting elephant also shift conflicts. Okay, they are shifted, so the conflict is shifted. So they once they are shifted from one location to other, so there is some change in their behavior. India's first radio telemetry study of a translocated problem elephant was conducted in 2006 when a large male shifted from the cropland West Medinipur in South Bengal to Mahananda Sanctuary in Darjeeling district in the north. Almost immediately, the elephant started damaging houses and raiding crops in village and army areas. In the first 5 months after its release, the elephant demolished 17 houses and raided 46 plot of croplands. See, so once it is translocated, it became more unruly and that caused more problem and threat to the people. The study concluded that translocation does not seem to be a good option to reduce conflict, as in this case, it only shifted the area of conflict. A better option could be to capture and transform it to a kunki. Kunki means a trained animal. Okay, trained elephant used to capture wild one. Okay, you see, so kunki animal are trained to use on behalf of the forest officials to capture the wild ones, and they are somehow trained and they obey the order of their master. Okay, an example you can say when the tigers are translocated in Odisha from the Madhya Pradesh. Okay, so the same period the that Satkosia tiger reserve, two Kunki elephants are also bred. Although the project has been a failure, the Kunki elephants are still there. Okay, Kunki elephant have done commendable work in the Chandaka Dampada Wildlife Sanctuary, where the project elephant is in operation. Okay, they are the trained animals and they always obey to the command of their masters. Using a radio collar round the clock, drain its battery to avoid frequent immobilization to refit collars. Location may at best be tracked every hour. Three studies, one outcome. India's first radio telemetry study of a translocated problem elephant was conducted in 2006 and a large male shifted from the cropland West Medinipur to Darjeeling. Okay. Almost immediately, the elephant started damaging houses and raiding crops. The study concluded that translocation does not seem to be a good option to reduce conflict, as in this case, it only shifted the area of conflict from one area to another area. The conflict is shifted, but the elephant behaved more ruthlessly after translocation. A better option could be to capture the transform into a monkey and elephant. Vinayaga, a bull that gained notoriety as a crop raider, was translocated from Coimbatore to the Mudumalai Bandipur landscape in December 2018. He soon started using gap in the elephant would trench to red crop until it was driven back. A field report by the Wildlife on India said they say would habit die hard, and rightly so, because whenever elephant was driven away from the crop field, it would retreat into the forest and stay close to the boundary, waiting for an opportunity to go back again. This is its own behavior. Constant manning of the boundary force Vinayagar to explore forest areas, indicating that the animal could survive without raiding crop fields and was not averse of in doing so. Yet Binaga continued raiding farmland in Gudlur, and deterrents such as burnt, dry, red chili has no effect on him. So the normal natural mechanism to drive him away has no impact on this particular unruly elephant. Okay, the most definitive study on translocated problem Asian elephants conducted in 2012, in which a team of biologists monitored 12 male elephants translocated 16 times to different national parks in Sri Lanka. The study found the translocated elephants showed variable response. Homers returned to the capture site. Wanderers range widely, and settlers established home range in new area soon after release. Translocation causes wide propagation, an intensification of human-elephant conflict, and increased elephant mortality. So, when a group of 12 elephants are translocated, so three different behavior was observed from them. First is the homers return to the capture site. So, from suppose they are captured from here and translocated to this place. Those are homers, so they again came back. They are called the homers. Okay, the wanderers range widely, and so the wanderers they range widely, so they move in beyond these, okay, and to this area. And the settlers establish home range, so the settlers they started staying over here. Okay, that means three distinct behavior pattern was observed from the elephant translocated. A study found translocated elephants show variable response. Homers return to the capture site, wanderers range widely, and settlers establish home range in new area soon after release. Translocation caused wider propagation, and intensification of human-elephant conflict, and increased elephant mortality. Because in the man-elephant conflict, so the major casualty is the animal, because human being has a brain and they use different trick than muscular trick of the animal to kill the animal. Translocation, it concluded, defeats both conflict mitigating and impact conservation goals. Translocation, so the what is the ruling ruled out, or what has been ruled? It has been ruled that translocation is not a solution. Neither it is a solution to end the conflict between man and the animal. Okay, nor it is a right step towards conservation of the elephants. Likelihood and lessons. Female and young male elephants live in groups, but the adult male remains solitary except when part of the boy club with less mature bull. Okay, male are more likely than herd to raid crops as they can grow bigger on nutrient-rich food and gain reproductive advantages. While aggression is part of this high-risk, high-gain strategy, very few bull actually attack humans. But when a male repeatedly crosses that line, it's best removed before he becomes a bad influence for the lesser bull in the group. In long-ranging species, elephants need people support, making the community suffer a few problem. Elephants often risk that fragile goodwill, which is vital for the species. Because in India, we have given the status of heritage animal to the elephant. Okay. Okay. So while aggression is part of this high risk, high gain strategy, very few bull actually attack humans. But when a male repeatedly crosses that line, he is best removed before he become a bad influence for the lesser bull in the group. In long-ranging species, elephant need people support, making the community suffer a few problem. Elephants often risk that fragile goodwill, which is vital for the species. This is why the Wildlife Protection Act gives the chief wildlife warden the power to deal with the problem animal as necessary. Because so the wildlife warden, the custodian and protector of the wildlife under his domain, and he should create an atmosphere of trust and safety among the people. So they will not come on the path of the animal or will not try to kill it. Fine. Because their life is in our hand, because we are trespassing to their area, destroying their habitation, so obstructing their corridors. That's why compelling them to come out of their own habitations to the human locations. The four-member expert committee that the HG set up on March 29th had two serving forest officers, a wildlife biologist, and a veterinarian. They recommended that shifting Arikomban to Paramikulam tiger reserve was most likely to avoid human-wildlife conflict and may gradually shift the animal behavior, making it less likely to seek anthropogenic resources over time. And the safety of the people and the animal at stake, it may not be a difficult choice between waiting and livelihood and relying on the lesson from the past. Fine. The next topic is the topic on science and technology, Web3. It is known as the decentralized web, as it caters to the next generation of the internet, leveraging blockchain technology to create a more open and transparent web, and it's called Web3. Web3 is built on top of existing internet infrastructure and not in competition with the previous versions of the web platform. It allows for the creation and exchange of digital assets, decentralized applications, and smart contract in the blockchain system. Blockchain is a decentralized digital technology that is designed to securely store data in a way where hacking and compromising is not easy, like on current medium and variant of the internet. It is best known for its use in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum, where it is used to store and transfer digital currencies in a secure and transparent way without any threat of cyber attack. What are the key features of this Web3? One of the key features of Web3 is that it provides users with greater control over their data and digital assets. Instead of relying on centralized intermediaries, it refers options and mediums for an individual to have more privacy and, more importantly, security of the content and transactions. Web3 allow for peer-to-peer transactions and interactions, which means that users are in control of their data and can choose whom they share it with. This also means that Web3 is more secure and there is no single point of failure that can be exploited by hackers. Another key features of Web3 is the ability to create and use decentralized applications and smart contracts. These decentralized applications can be used for a variety of purposes such as social media, financial gaming, and more. However, there are many challenges that need to be overcome before the Web3 can become mainstream technology such as scalability, interoperability, and user adoption. Okay. Then how is Web3 different from this Web2? Web2, also known as the centralized web, the current version of the internet. But the internet that we are using today in common is called the Web2 internet. Okay, it is the Web2 internet. But Web3 internet is its higher version. Centralization versus digitalization. Web2 is centralized, but Web3 decentralized, meaning that data is stored on centralized server owned and controlled by large corporations. Okay, like the social media platform, they manage the server and as they own the server, the data is centralized. In contrast, Web3 decentralized, meaning the data is stored on a decentralized network of computers that are owned and controlled by the users themselves. In Web3, all the data will be maintained by the user, not by the web providers. Okay, okay, or by the web platforms like the Google, Facebook. Right now in the Web2, they are managing the server. Okay, there is centrality, but in case of Web3, this will be completely decentralized. Okay, which will be better than the present one. Okay, it will controlled by the users themselves. Intermediary versus peer-to-peer. Web2 relies heavily on intermediaries such as the bank, social media platform, and online marketplace. to facilitate transactions and interactions. Web3 enables peer-to-peer transactions and interaction, meaning that users can transact directly with one and without the and all and without the need for intermediaries like the banks, for example. Data ownership and control. In Web 2, large corporations like Facebook and Google have significant control over user data and can monetize it in ways that users may not be comfortable with. Okay, that means the data can be circulated and that can be used by different users, which may not be liked by the customers. In Web3, users can choose to share data only with those they trust. Okay, so in Web3 is more controlled by the user, because in case they don't want to share the information with anyone, none will be able to access it. In Web2, users must trust intermediaries to keep their data and transactions secure. In Web3, users can trust the network itself to keep their data and transactions secure. Here in user 3 is that it is in 3 that in Web3 it is the network. In Web2, okay, then data ownership and control. In Web 2, large corporations like Facebook and Google have significant control over users' data and can monetize it in ways that user may not comfortable with. What are the challenges for the Web 3? Scalability. This is one of the biggest challenges. The current infrastructure blockchain tech network can only handle a limited number of transactions per second. User adoption. While blockchain technology has been around for over a decade, it is still relatively unknown. Interoperability. Web3 is being built by a wide range of developers and organizations, each with their own unique vision for how the technology should be implemented. Complexity. Technology requires a certain level of technical expertise to use and understand. This may be a barrier to adoption for some users who are not comfortable with technology or do not have the necessary technical knowledge. Who is using Web3? Cryptocurrencies. They are built on blockchain technology, which is a key component of Web3. These digital currencies enable secure decentralized transactions without the need for intermediaries. Decentralized finance. Decentralized finance is a movement that aims to build a new financial system on top of the blockchain technology. Decentralized finance applications enable users to borrow, lend, and trade cryptocurrencies without the need for traditional financial intermediaries. Decentralized storage. Web3 is being used to create decentralized social networks like Mastodon, which are designed to be more user centric. Web3 is more being used to develop decentralized identity verification system. Fine. Then the next topic is very interesting. topic on demography, the population. India became world's most populous nation. So the rank one in population, which was enjoyed by China for decades, was taken over by India recently. A UN report released recently has provided the first official confirmation of something that had been anticipated for months now, that India's population is expected to surpass that of China by the middle of this year at the latest. The annual State of World Population Report by United Nations Population Fund (UNFPA), UN Fund Population Activities, has pegged India's mid 2023 population at 1428 million. That means 142.8 crore, marginal ahead of China's 1425 million by 3 million extra. In 2022, this same report has estimated China's mid 2022 population at 1448 million, substantially more than that of India at 1406 million. The emergence of India as the world's most populous country this year, therefore, has a lot to do with relatively sharp drop in Chinese population. Reduction of 23 million, 2.3 crore in just 1 year. Okay, that means population of China has decreased, whereas the population of India continues to rise. There are only estimates arrived at using indirect methods and a variety of indicators like fertility and mortality rates. But the United Nations Fund for Population Activity Report, UNFPA refers to UN Population Fund, origin name of UN Fund for Population Activities, which have been coming out every year since 1978, are considered a reliable indicator of global population trend. What did it say? So this is the trend. What is projected by UNFPA. Fine. In any case, population size are dynamic and it is difficult to capture an accurate number on any given day. Faster growth than India's own estimate. The more reliable figure for India's population comes from the census that happens every 10 years. The lack of census took place, the last census took place in 2011, and the 2021 census exercise had been postponed because of the coronavirus pandemic. Because census operation is the only operation that is done on accurate basis. Okay, no samples or random sample survey, but only on accurate basis. So, the pandemic was on its full swing by the period 2021 when the census was to take place. It has been postponed. According to these projections, India's population is in 2023 was expected to be only 1388 million, above 1339 crore, significant less than what the UNFPA State of World Population Report and other several other estimates have been suggesting. So they are suggesting for much more, but actually India has achieved less or growth is less. According to these projections, India's population even in 2026 will be smaller than what UNFPA has estimated for the middle of 2023. After 3 years, it will be less than what has been projected by the UNFPA in 2020 for 2026. Rising strength, United Nations said its report that India will have about 2.9 million people more than China in the middle of 2023. India was not expected to become the most populous country until later this decade, but it has happened quickly due to drop in Chinese fertility rate. Among the BRICS nations, India has the second highest fertility rate of 2, while China is only 1.2. Fertility rate is the rate of the rate means the number of children one couple normally bears during their fertility period. Okay, in their lifespan, one couple gives how many back to how many child. In India, it is 2, but in China, it is 1.2. That means 2 husband and wife, they have only the chances of 1.2, okay, percentage. Improvement in the life expectancy and decline in mortality rate, both of them positive indicators could be some of the major reasons for the faster than expected growth in population in the short term. The UNFPA report says that if India's population continue to grow at the current rate, set below 1% every year, It could double from the present value in the next 75 years. That could be the case with global population as well. Currently, slightly above 8 billion. Of course, the both India and the world's population are expected to stabilize much ahead of that. The delayed census, why we are not able to get a clear picture? Because since 2021, the census which was to be conducted has not taken place, so we are not able to get a very clear picture of the exact number of people. An authoritative assessment of India's current population has been inferred by the intervening delay in carrying out the census 2021 exercise. The pandemic is no longer an obstacle in carrying out the activity, but even more than a year after the normalcy have been restored, there are no indications of the process being initiated in the near future. The census exercise being carried out every 10 years since 1870 has never been disrupted for this long. But the pandemic disrupted, even the pandemic is over, but the government is not becoming that proactive in starting it. So it is the Registrar General and Census Commissioner of India who start the continue the census activity in India. It is the Registrar General and Census Commissioner of India. In December last year, the Office of the Registrar General of India has pushed the deadline to reach administrative boundaries, the first stage in the census exercise, to June 30th this year. That means the work is unlikely to begin at least till the end of June. With general election scheduled for the next year, the census exercise unlikely to proceed at a fast pace. It usually takes at least 2 years for the census exercise to get completed. Many data sets take several years for the completion of the Excel to come out. The delay in completing the 2021 census would have damaging implications for a variety of sectors and could potentially impact India's growth prospect as well. The census exercise products basic input data for all sorts of indicators used for planning and policy implementation. These indicators are also used for investment and trade decisions by global partners. In the absence of reliable indicators based on solid numbers from the census, the quality of these decisions could also suffer. Okay, so it is high time that the delay that has been caused in the census should be adjusted and the census operations should be undertaken at the earliest. So we can find the census result much early and complete the process sooner as soon as possible. The next topic is on the Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Janaushadhi Parijojana PMBJY BJP. Okay. G20 delegations, because India is hosting the G20 summit into this year in India. So a lot of preparatory works and pre-summit level meetings are being organized by India in different forums. The G20 delegation visited Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Janaushadhi Parijojana Kendra. Okay, so in during meeting in India, so government invited them to visit the Pradhan Mantri Janaushadhi Parijojana Kendra. Pradhan Mantri Janaushadhi Yojana is a program to produce and circulate generic medicine, which are much cheaper than the patented medicines in the country. The Janaushadhi scheme was introduced by the Department of Pharmaceutical within the Ministry of Chemical Fertilizer in November 2008 with the goal of making generic medications accessible to everyone at a reasonable price. Pradhan Mantri Janaushadhi Parijojana is a program to manufacture and supply generic medicine. What is generic medicine? Generic medicine is the medicine whose patent period are over. Normally, medicine has a patent period that lasts up to 15 years, and after 15 years, the medicine becomes a generic medicine, and anyone can produce it. Okay, without paying in royalty to the original inventor. The program was redesigned as the Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Janaushadhi Yojana in 2015 to revitalize the supply of reasonably priced generic medicines with efficacy and quality comparable to that of the branded treatments. It was again named Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Janaushadhi Parijojana to give the program more momentum. The PMBJP's implementing body is the Pharmaceuticals and Medical Device Bureau of India. Okay. Generic medicines are priced between 50% to 90% less than comparable branded medicines available in the pharma market. Generic medicines are the medicines whose patent period is over. They are sold in the chemical composition name. No name has been assigned to them. Like to be sold as paracetamol as azithromycin in the chemical name, not that azithrol or in the name of any particular medicine for in place of that paracetamol. Fine. The scheme only permits the purchase of medication from the suppliers accredited by the World Health Organization, good manufacturing practices. Objective: reducing patients' out-of-pocket expenses while increasing access to high-quality medication supplies and surgical equipment. It not only supply medicine, it also supply surgical implement to the Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi Parijyojana. Because the number of Jan Aushadhi stores have been opened in the country, Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi stores have been opened, and people are able to avail the cheap medicine, and the cheap medicine price may vary from less by 30 to 90%. Okay. To spread awareness about generic medications among the general public and reduce or refute the myth that generic drugs are low quality or more ineffective because they are more affordable. Normally, you have an idea that cheaper drugs means less effective. That is to be overcome by the people through creating awareness. They are same equally effective, beneficial like the patented drugs. But the normal people have an opinion that being cheaper maybe not that effective, but the misconception need to be overcome first. Okay, to spread awareness about generic medicines among general public and refute the myth that generic drugs are low quality and more ineffective because they are more affordable or they are cheaper. To make sure that all women in India have easy access to menstrual health services, that is a program. So because the sanitary napkins are provided, this Parijojana also. Create job by enlisting individual business owners in the launch of that Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi Parijojana Kendra. Government is encouraging to open these Jan Aushadhi stores by the people, so the customers can purchase the medicines at a much reasonable price. Okay, so which range from 30 to 90% of the original medicine cost of the patented medicine. Performance: प्रधानमंत्री भारतीय जनौषधि परियोजना reported revenue of 433.61 crore for a fiscal year 2019 to 20. As a result, the ordinary inhabitant of the nation have saved between 50% to 90% of the average market price on these drugs, amounting to about 2,500 crore. Sale of 665.83 crore were made in the fiscal year 2021, saying the public around 4,000 crore compared to branded medications. In the fiscal year 21-22, this generated sale of 751.42 crore, which allowed people to save almost 4,500 crore to be paid to the patented drugs. Okay. This program also offer a reliable sources of independence, work with consistent and sustained income. Fine. This need to be popularized. Then Janaushadhi Kendra, Janaushadhi Oxo. So biodegradable sanitary napkins. They are also offered just 1 rupee. They may readily be degraded by microorganisms without generating pollution because they are fully biodegradable. Janaushadhi Divas, every year Divas is observed to raise create awareness use of generic medicines. Janaushadhi Shugam applications, also called the e-Aushadhi app. It has been developed by the Department of Pharmaceuticals, Ministry of Chemical and Fertilizer, and was launched in August 2009. Okay, to put all these in the applications, know everything in the applications. The applications help to locate nearby Janaushadhi Kendra and compare price of generic branded medicines. Generic medicines are to be compared with the branded medicines, and if the customers are satisfied, then they can give the order and get the medicine. Fine. So this is what government want to popularize generic medicine through different initiatives. Next is the question: analyze the impact of development projects and policy on the tribal community. The Banabandhu or the tribals. They are the original inhabitants of the land. Okay, even after 75 years of independence, so they are lagging behind. According to Ministry of Tribal Affairs, okay, headed by Mr. Tudu. Okay, so when the travel ministry was separately created during the Bajpayee's first tenure as Prime Minister, so Jewel Ram of Odisha was the first travel minister of India. Okay, so according to the Ministry of Travel Affairs, travel people constitute 8.6% of India's population, but account for 46% of its total poverty. Development projects and policy in India have had a significant impact on travel community who often live in remote and ecologically sensitive areas. Impact of development projects and policy on travel communities. Positive impact. Government policy and programs such as the Forest Right Act, the Panchayat Extension to Scheduled Area Act, PESA, and the tribal supplant approach have aimed to promote the socio-economic development of tribal community and protect their rights. The Forest Right Act and the PESA, Panchayat Extension of Scheduled Area Act, provide legal recognition and secure the land rights of the tribal people. The tribal supplant approach ensured earmarking of plan funds for tribal supplants in proportion to their population. Equitable model residential schools have been able to promote education among tribal communities. The PESA Act empower tribal community to govern their own affairs and strengthen local self-governance. Okay. The negative impact, forced displacement, developmental projects such as mining, dam construction, and industrialization often require large tract of land, which frequently result in the forced displacement of the tribal community. They are forcibly displaced from their original place because of this project development. The Vedanta Group's mining project in the scarce Nyamgiri Hill of Odisha was blocked by the Supreme Court because the tribe living there, the Dongriya Konda, had not given their prior and informed consent. Because the Forest Right Act has made it a part that public hearing of the affected people will be an integral part of any project development, and the Dongriya Konda are not at all giving the chance public hearing, and at the Supreme Court order, the judiciary moved to their area to get their view, and when it assessed that they are not interested, the project was scrapped. Okay, the loss of livelihood. Development projects often led to the loss of traditional livelihood of tribal communities. The Virginia's Daksa community reports state that tribal have been pushed out of their traditional habitat due to land acquisition and displacement, which has impacted their agricultural and forest-based livelihood because they are very primitive. They live on a agricultural and forest-based livelihood, but displacement has affected them severely. The Sardar Sarovar Dam case is an example of this. The dam construction to the Narmada River in Gujarat resulted in the displacement of over 1 lakh people, many of whom were tribal communities. The project also led to the submergence of fertile agricultural land and destruction of the livelihood. So they are totally displaced and destructed. Destruction of cultural heritage, development project and undue outside interference can also lead to the destruction of their cultural heritage and tribal communities, which is against the idea of tribal Panchashil propagated by Nehru. Lack of recognition of land and water rights. Tribal community have been using their land and water resources for generation, but these are not often violated by the developmental project because their land, their water resources are taken over. Conclusion, development projects and policies have had both positive and negative impact on tribal community in India. The way forward involves ensuring the participation and consultation of the tribal community in the decision-making process and promoting their inclusion and empowerment in mainstream society. And before any project is taken up, they should be taken into consideration, and their every aspect, culture, livelihood, security, their own tradition. Okay, everything should be taken into consideration before taking their land and that displacing them from their original place, right? If that is done, then you see there is a case at the National ST Commission, Scheduled Tribe Commission, and recently asked the government, okay, through the judiciary, to see that how this Forest Right Act is violated by the different projects. Okay, and because they have not given the report, so they have asked this to the government through the judiciary. This is a recent case. Okay. Then come to the MCQs. With reference to the Web 3.0, consider the following statement. Web 3.0 technology enables people to control their own data. Correct. The Web 3.0 world, there can be blockchain-based social networking. That is right. Web 3.0 is operated by users collectively rather than a corporation. So it is decentralized. So both 1, 2, 3 are correct. Answer is D. Then 2, with reference to Indian law about wildlife protection, consider the following statement. Wild animals are solely property of the government. Yes, it is. When a wild animal is declared protected, such animal is entitled to equal protection whether it is found in protected area or outside. That is also right. Apprehension of a protected animal becoming a danger to human life is sufficient ground for its capture or killing. No, it is to declared as okay. This is not a ground. Fine. So that is so a lot of process have to be taken. Okay, before it is declared as a threat and will be captured or killed. So 3 is incorrect. 1 and 2 are correct. So answer is A. Then mic program. Mic program is regarding the question number 3. It is about the sites. Okay. So it is by the sites, the international convention. Okay. Sites. It is the mic program. Okay. For collaboration to measure the level, trend, and cause of elephant mortality. That's the by the sites. Okay. Then the reference to UN Population Fund. Consider the following statement. It is a subsidiary organ of UN General Assembly and works as a sexual and reproductive health agency. Okay, that is right. The UN Economic and Social Council establishes mandate. Correct. UNFPA is not a supported by the UN budget. That is also correct. UNFPA works directly to tackle Sustainable Development Goal SDG, SDG 3, SDG 4, and SDG 5. It is also correct. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 means A is the right answer. Then question number 5. In the following statement, census is conducted under the provisions of the Census Act 1948. Okay, so it is correct. No, it is incorrect. So census being conducted was before independence. The census organization set up on ad hoc basis for each census. So no, it is permanent. The Registrar General is the permanent office, not ad hoc. So it is correct. The census record are not open to inspection and also not admissible for in evidence. It is incorrect. So 1 and 3 are incorrect. The answer will be A. Yes. Then 6. Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana provides quality medicine to the masses at affordable rate. It is implemented by which of the following ministry? Ministry of Chemical and Fertilizer. Fine. Ministry of Chemical and Fertilizer. Sathi is a portal recently launched by the which of the following ministry? Ministry of Agriculture, Farmer Welfare, as of the Sathi initiative. Then Mahendra Mahananda Wildlife Sanctuary, often mentioned, it is in West Bengal. Then with reference to Animal Welfare Board of India, got the following statement. The Animal Welfare Board of India is established under the provision of the Cruelty to Animal Act 1960. That is that is that is incorrect. Okay, that is correct. Okay, that is correct. Okay, uh, okay. It falls under the jurisdiction of Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. It is incorrect. And it is chaired by the Environment Minister. It is also incorrect. Fine. So 2 and 3 is the right answer. Question number 10. So consider the following statement. National Commission for Minority is a statutory body established under the NMC Act 1992. Chairman and members. So 1 is correct. Chairman members are upon the president. So is incorrect. It does not include linguistic minority within its ambit. It's correct. Only religious minorities. Fine. So 1 and 3 are correct. So A, right answer. So keep watching regularly our daily development. So to update yourself. Thank you for watching.